Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Talking Tampa Bay Sports with Ro. My name is Ro. I live in Kansas City, but I'm originally from Tampa, so I'm going to talk about Tampa Bay sports. I may have a little bit different take on it. As a homer who loves all things Tampa sports, I love my Rays. Generally only in September and beyond because that is a very long season. I do love my Lightning. I do love my Buccaneers. So we will talk a lot about that. We may talk about some high school sports. We may talk about some college sports. We may talk about the shit that's going on at the University of Florida right now because that was embarrassing to South Carolina. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that. But anyway, we're going to do that. So if you're joining me, welcome. This is it. This is like the rookie card. Hopefully you heard this very early on to the release of this broadcast, and you can say, hey, I was there from day one. So welcome. Follow, subscribe, like, whatever you need to do. Reach out if you have anything you want to talk about. If you have anything you want to ask, please reach out. All that contact information can be found. We're going to be available on Spotify, on Amazon Music, on Audible, Google Podcast. I know I'm leaving Anchor FM, so there's going to be plenty of places. Hopefully soon we'll be on Apple Music as well. If you're listening to us on Apple Music, that means you have found us in the future, and if you've gone to the past and you've found my rookie card, so welcome. So anyway, this week, this is the end of the week. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bye week. It is week 9 in the NFL. So last week we lost to the New Orleans Saints. You know what? We won the Super Bowl last year. So I have to be very... Nothing's really going to bother me this season. I mean, I do think that we should make it to the Super Bowl again. I do think we have the talent to win the Super Bowl again. I think it's going to be much tougher exiting out of the NFC than it is maybe playing the winner of the AFC that's kind of mired the AFC, the top of that conference right now. So we'll see what happens. I want us to win the Super Bowl. If we don't make the playoffs, you know what? I'll just watch the DVD of last year's Super Bowl win. And I can also watch the Lightning, the last 2 Stanley Cup wins. So that's amazing too. I've always said that if the Rays win the World Series, that will be it. That is the sign of the apocalypse. So even though I really want them to win the World Series, I am leery about them doing that. So, but a joy to watch. I always think the Rays are a fun team to watch. The season is just way too long. Last time I lived in Tampa was 2004, 2005. That was right before we took off and started getting good. I used to go to games there. The company that I worked for, I was a trainer with Sprint at the time. We had a suite on the third base side, and we could not give that suite away. It was meant for the business department to give it away to Sprint business customers, and we couldn't give it away. And I was a trainer on the retail side, and so sales would often ask me, they go, hey, if you want the suite tonight, you can have that, and you can take your training class. And so I would offer that up. And sometimes I wouldn't have a training class when there was a game, and I would go to the games, and I would sit there and yell at the batter like, hey, batter, and I swear they would back off and look straight at me. I mean, there were times where it seemed, I want to say announced attendance was around 5,000 at some of the games that I went to, but it was so empty. I mean, it echoed. You always thought if there was a foul ball that was hit too far down the baseline, you would just wait and go after the next one because there'll be another one laying around there sometime, somewhere. So I love the Rays. I'm very proud of the Rays. I have jerseys, hats, T-shirts, polos. So I have it, and I will support them, but it is very difficult over a 162-game season to do that. So I love 16-game seasons. Even hockey's a long season, but, man, it moves fast. I mean, the last 2 seasons have just – I know they've been condensed and smushed together and some other things have gone on, but hockey's been really fun. This last week has been really fun. We did manage to get points in each game. The Maple Leaf game was kind of a letdown. I hate it. I'm sure that someone knows this stat of how often goalies in general, or specifically Vasilevsky, loses a shutout within the last X number of minutes. It was 41 seconds, I believe, when Maple Leafs scored and then scored again. And that was a bad game by Hedman. I mean, that loss was on Hedman. He did not clear the puck, allowing them to score with 41 seconds. He took the penalty in OT, which he kind of had to take, but that's you don't want to take it with a team like Toronto that has the firepower that they do to give them the open ice, and especially open ice at 4-on-3. So that was a heartbreak. They bounced back at Ottawa yesterday. That was nice. This upcoming week is super tough. Out of 21 games these two teams have played, they have 19 wins, I believe. So between them they play Carolina on Tuesday. Saturday, they play Florida. 4 of our next 5 are at home. I don't have the schedule in front of me. I know the Islanders are coming up as well. That's always good. Become a little bit of an Islanders fan, not only because of the real Lightning playing them in the playoffs, but on NHL 21, I was drafted when I created myself the road to the, I don't know what they call it in hockey anymore. I haven't played the game in a while, but I was drafted by the Islanders and played with them, so I get kind of used to them. And being a Florida Gator fan, I enjoy their orange and blue color scheme, so that's always very nice as well. So that will be a great game. So who else? I don't have the schedule in front of me. It'll be fun this week. I don't know of too much else that is going on. I don't know how long these podcasts are generally going to be. It depends on what I'm going to be talking about. There's so much going on in the NFL right now. I could go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to talk about Henry Ruggs. That is stupid. I cannot even fathom why people ever have a drink and drive. I don't get it. I mean, you're young, you think you're invincible. I know that I've been there. At my age now, I don't remember it, though. I know I did stupid stuff. And it didn't cost me or anyone else. So that is very tragic. That is sad, and that could have been 100% avoided. So that said, what else is going on? I was going to mention, because I read this here in Kansas City. If I haven't mentioned it before, I am in Kansas City now, so I hear a lot about the Chiefs. I cannot get on the bandwagon of the Chiefs and follow them. They are an entertaining team to watch, but I don't know. I have never been able to get with the Chiefs. Even when we moved here from Tampa, the Buccaneers were god-awful. This was in the early years with the Buccaneers, but so were the Chiefs. And I think the first Chiefs game I went to was for my birthday, and the weather, which is in the end of September, and the weather was horrendous here. It rained. I hate being wet and outside. I hate being in wet clothes. And so I think that tainted me as well. But I just cannot get into watching the Chiefs. But an interesting thing I saw here today is there is a petition that has gone online here in Kansas City for the Chiefs to bench Patrick Mahomes because he's thrown 10 interceptions. And I get that. This is not the Patrick Mahomes of the last couple years, at least currently. Halfway through the season. Well, not really halfway through the season, because I guess it is 9 weeks. We're right at halfway. With a 17-week season, we're right at halfway. So halfway through the season, I guess he'd only thrown 12 interceptions the previous 2 years, so people are wanting him to be benched. Chad Henne, I believe, is the backup. Who in their right mind? I can't think of anyone that I would bench. I was even thinking about old Buccaneer quarterbacks that I would choose before Chad Henne. And I went so deep as to choose Steve Walsh over Chad Henne. So Chiefs fans, just Give it a break. You've been to 2 straight Super Bowls. You should have been to 3, except for an offside penalty with D Ford. You should have been to 3 straight Super Bowls. You went to 2 straight Super Bowls, winning one of them. Chill the fuck out, okay? Because you guys will probably be fine. After today's game, which their offense looked horrendous against Green Bay, they are now 5-4. I believe everyone in the AFC West is either 5-3 or 5-4, depending on the number of games that they've played so far. So, worst case scenario, they're a half a game. They're playing like shit, and they're only a half a game out. So, if they can turn it around and kind of figure out what's going on with their identity, I think that will help. I think everyone has figured out just make them throw it short and good tackling, and that will remedy a lot of problems. So, we'll see. Buccaneers fans, please do not do that with Tom Brady. I don't want to see... Blaine Gabbert. I don't need to see Blaine Gabbert as the backup. I just don't want to see someone think that Blaine Gabbert, if Tom Brady decides to throw a few interceptions, that he would be a viable option. Because I'm going to say he's not. So, yeah, let's don't do that. So, anyway, I actually like the way the Bucs are playing. Whatever reason they didn't play well against the Saints, it's fine. Their bye week this week, that was kind of nice. Gave me things to do this afternoon, so I didn't have to watch the game. Like I said, try to watch the Chiefs. Snooze. I not only snooze saying it, I actually think I fell asleep during that game. That's how boring that game was. So I don't think there's really anything else for me to talk about right now. So I'm not going to waste anyone else's time. Anyway, welcome to the Ro Show. No, see, now I've already confused my podcast. So I do have the Ro Show with Stephen, if you want to check that out. That is a weekly podcast. It's been around for a little bit now. I do one with my wife called The Longest One Night Stand with Bobbi and Ro. What we thought was going to be a one-night stand 26 years later is still going strong. So that's another podcast. You're more than welcome to go over and check those out. But as for this one, welcome to the very first episode of Talking Tampa Bay Sports with Ro. I am so glad to be doing this, and I hope that I have a lot to talk about. I hope I have a lot to talk about deep into playoff season with the Buccaneers, and I hope that this is a very fruitful season with the Lightning as well. So welcome to the show. There will be places to reach out. Please share as well, and let me know if there's anything you want to hear. I'm here. I'm doing this by myself. Hopefully at some point, maybe I'll be able to interview some people. We'll see what happens. But anyway, welcome. Talking Tampa Bay Sports with Ro. Have a good one.